Good afternoon, students. Today, our topic is reproduction in angiosperms. Angiosperms, which we called flowering plants. So, the plants which bear flowers are called angiosperms. You know, the flowers add beauty to our nation. They beautifies our nation. But these flowers, they are also the reproductive part of the plant. Reproductive part of angiosperms. The reproductive part in flowers, that is stamen, male reproductive part, and carpel, that's female reproductive part. So when the stamen and carpel are present in the same flower, that's called bisexual. So both reproductive organs present in the same flower. While when the reproductive organs are present in different flowers. So each plant bears a single reproductive organ, that's called unisexual. The reproductive parts, that's stamen and carpel. The stamen contains anther and filament. The stamen contains also pollen grains, which is male gamete, and the carpel, that's contains three parts, that is stigma, style, and ovary. The ovary contains ovules. The ovules contains egg cells. So whenever the male and female reproductive gamete fuses with each other, they form the zygote, which is called fertilization. So in order to fertilize, initially the pollen grains from the anther have to transfer towards the stigma of the carpel. So the transfer of male gamete from stamen of flower to the stigma of same flower, that's called self-pollination. So same stamen and stigma where the pollen grain is transmitted. So whenever the pollen grains from the stamen of one flower is planted into the stigma of another plant, so that's called cross pollination. So there are different agents for this pollination, that's wind, water, and animals. So pollen grains lands into the stigma either by cross or self-pollination, and these pollen grains travels through the style and reaches into the ovary. In the ovary, there are ovules which fuse with pollen grains to form the zygote. That process is called fertilization. This zygote develops into the embryo, and embryo is enclosed with a hard tough coat and forms the seed. So whenever the seed is developed, the flower shed its petals and make the fruit. The fruit contains seeds in which embryo is enclosed baby plant. This seed is planted into the soil, watered, and grows into the new baby plant, new seedlings, and finally